Good morning. After a tremendous outpouring of support from local residents and members of the community, we, the members and volunteers of the Lakeside City Alliance, are announcing today that we have raised $30,000 to explore the financial viability of the city of Lakeside. What that means is that we are now proceeding with the next step, an economic feasibility study. We've signed a contract with the University of Georgia's Carl Vinson Institute, authorizing them to commence their work immediately and determine whether this city is viable. The study will examine whether this community can sustain itself financially as a city with the revenue it generates, certainly with no tax increase. We have heard from and we agree with our neighbors that a new city should not entertain a tax hike. The study will be conducted in the coming months and will be completed prior to the 2014 legislative session. This will give residents within the proposed city and lawmakers clear answers regarding the legislation so it can proceed for a referendum next year. Our neighbors have expressed a strong interest in studying the possibility of forming a new city and are telling us that they desire local control over their affairs. Our research to this point indicates that a city could potentially help improve the operation and the image of DeKalb County. Citizens tell us they want an opportunity to consider local control as a way to help solve some of the area's problems. We have been told time and time again by residents of this area in the county that the county is too big and seems too distracted. On behalf of the Lakeside City Alliance Board, we thank the community for their support and the confidence that they have placed in us with the Lakeside City Study effort. Thank you. Yes, my name is Mary Kay Woodworth, a resident of DeKalb County, and I'm the chairperson of the Lakeside City Alliance.
Can you spell that, please?
MaryKayWoodworth.
One more time.
Chairperson of the Lakeside City Alliance.
Looking at the situation with DeKalb County, we know Burl Ellis, we know he's been indicted. How is that, if any, how's that played a role in what you are doing here today?
This hasn't played a role at all in what we've doing today. The cityhood studies and efforts from the past few years there was interest in this long before any allegations against Burl Ellis. It does put some question and concern in residents' minds, and it will certainly take valuable resources and affect all of us in the county.
What did you reach the total?
We reached it this last weekend.
Do you think the problems or the indictment
We were very close to it before the indictment. I don't believe that really made a difference. I think that people, as we've gone out in the community and talked about what some of the potential benefits of doing the study and determining whether the city is feasible, I think it has resonated, and we have worked very hard. We have either gone to or been invited to over 20 meetings in the community to speak to residents, at their request, and as we speak to groups of 20, 30, 40, 200, 600, people start to think about it and look around them. I think that has really helped our effort.
So you say the feasibility study will be ready for the 2014 session, so we're saying over the next 6 months?
Yes, it will be within the next 6 months.
And what are you hoping it's going to tell residents?
Well, we hope that the outcome will be that this area in our map here is economically feasible, and that as we continue to go out to the communities and talk to residents, that they can learn more about the positives of this. We are, at this point still, as we've talked before, we are not an advocacy group. And until we determine from the study that it is a feasible possibility, we will continue going and being an informational group. When that comes in, we'll make some other decisions about which way we're going to go with our effort.
Which services are you asking to get?
As you know, there are minimum of three required, and the three that have resonated most greatly with the people that we've talked to are public safety, parks and recreation, and zoning. Now, these are, as we talked about, they are just the three minimum. Many residents are interested in more, and I think that will also be determined by the feasibility study to see what revenues there are. Any group that would be formed after the advocacy group that would form would be the one meeting to determine what actual services would be offered.
Don't you ask CVI to Carl Vinson to look at specific services?
Kevin, can you help me with that? Because you actually were the one dealing with Carl Vinson.
Yeah, the Carl Vinson Institute will take I'm Kevin Levitas, also on the board with Mary Kay, and just to remind you, you've got a lot of citizens and board members behind you as well. The Carl Vinson Institute will take the base plan that we have and estimate what the likely revenues are. However, when any city comes into existence, it takes the entire amount of the city services, which is only about 4.75% of your tax bill. It would be up to the city to determine which of those services it would provide and which services it would either contract with the county or contract with a private entity to provide. So really the Carl Vinson Institute study will focus on how much revenue we'll raise, what the proposed budget is likely to need to meet the services that we've proposed.
Right, and that's what I was asking. So which one you proposed? Those
And so
three?
it's
Correct. Those are the three initial.
Those are the three initial, but we may come up with others.
Are you planning on drawing on some of the experiences from the recently formed city of Brookhaven to look at them, see what they did wrong, what they did right, and draw on some of those
We plan to
experiences?
draw on the experiences of all of the recently formed cities, and we have been very fortunate with where we are in this timeline that they have been very forthcoming, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, Brookhaven, to help us, guide us along the way. So we really appreciate that, and it will certainly help us with the efforts if we do move forward with the effort.
The boundaries still incorporate part of Tucker, I think it's
They incorporate an area outside of 285 that is in the part of it is in the 30084 zip code. We have, as you know, many of you know, we were asked before we Senator Miller filed the bill to remove another area of Tucker. In the meantime, we have been contacted and gone to talk to many residents in that area who desire to be back in the map, that they feel very strongly that they associate with this community of interest that we have identified here.
Does your map overlap with any other proposed cities?
Our map does not, but other maps do overlap ours.
So what's the plans for figuring that out?
We have been very strategic and organized about our process and have been working on this since the beginning of the year. We feel that we have very strong community and legislative support, and feel that at the end of the day, there will only be one bill that will make it through the legislature. And we believe it is ours. I think that we applaud the other groups that have come together to explore cityhood. More people in the county probably should be doing this, and we hope they do. And we will be happy to help any of them in their efforts after 2014.
What happens if the feasibility study comes back as a mixed bag?
Well, we'll just have to look at it at that time. We certainly will not move forward if it would be necessary to raise taxes. Any other questions? Boy, y'all are quiet. Thank you for your time.